then we get the triumphant return of Pete Dunne. You're welcome, because we predicted
Pete
this
Dunne!
And very serious.
Bruiserweight.
It's about time, though.
About
right?
damn time, Trips. Like, it was about damn time.
And this is the thing, because we've talked about this too, where it's like sometimes the longer road, it benefits somebody more than had they just gotten, jumped straight into it. And I feel like in this situation, because we've said that about like Santos, like having to go through being in Legato, it not working, going through the LWO to then reform Legato, like completely the right move. It might have sucked at the beginning, or maybe it went longer than he liked, but it's like he wouldn't be in the position that he's in now had he not had to go through all of that. Maybe even the same argument can be made about like LA Knight, right? Like maybe he had to be Max Dupree to finally get to this point. I feel like it's kind of the same with Pete Dunne, because I feel like had they brought him up to the main roster as Pete Dunne and never attached him to Sheamus or Ridge Holland, I don't know how well he would have done. And part of that is because he's not really a talker, never was, but he's not a bad talker, but it's like he's one of those guys
it's not
that's like,
thing.
Yeah, well, it's like my actions speak for me. Yeah, like I kick your ass and that's what I'm saying. So like he wouldn't get over that way, right? And then he's a smaller guy, like he's a little bit different with how he wrestles because of like the joint manipulation and all that stuff. So it's that could be off-putting to people you don't know. Like it's not stuff that like easily gets you fans. So I feel like it worked for him to be in the Brawling Brutes, for him to then like be dumped on live TV by Ridge Holland, and then to have this like identity crisis to get him back here. I feel like it was actually as frustrating as it was, because we never liked calling him Butch. It feels like he had to do this to be here.
I think I called him Pete Dunne almost every episode. I just refused to call him Butch because I thought it was the most ridiculous thing. Like, it's Pete Dunne. He's made a name for himself. In your own company, he's made a name for himself. And I just never got why you made him this just Tasmanian devil type of nutcase.
That was a Vince move. So
after I found out that Vince was, once he had something in his like head that he wanted to do, he would over and overdo it. And it was the attacking, like he was uncontrollable. Like I was like, that's so Vince, because Triple H would not do that type of thing. It's a lot smarter.
Well, and it's also like the word I used to describe him earlier when I was talking about this with somebody, I was like, they made him like squirrely. And it was like, because he was always like trying to get to somebody, but it was like they had him Ridge hold him back.
Easy.
Like, and to me, it always felt like a way of like size shaming him. You know what I mean? Like to me, it was always like, oh yeah, this is the little guy. He's squirrely.
Like an inferiority complex.
Yeah, it's like that was Vince's way of like exploiting that about him, because he was a smaller guy, and we know that Vince never liked smaller guys. So then he's in a faction with Ridge the Fridge and Sheamus. So it's like, so to me it always felt like that too, and I just felt that was so unnecessary, because there's a reason why he was a champion in NXT UK. There's a reason he earned nicknames and like had these matches that were great. Like it was just bad. But I think that, like I said, this road is maybe how he had to go down in order to get to this point. So